with all due respect to the current task force propped up. They said they're not doing their report until December. They're frankly kind of letting the feds dictate the schedule. I wouldn't do that. I would force them all. I would have hearings. I would have reports. I'd get them out as soon as possible. And I would force the administration to answer the question.
What a novelty. Here to react, Congressman Michael Rulli of Ohio. Congressman, it's good to see you. I'll ask the same thing I asked to Congressman Chip Roy about this in a slightly different way. Is it appropriate for the Republican Party to have the same level of urgency toward getting to the bottom of what happened in the assassination attempt against President Trump as the Democrats and the media have?
Well, I think for us, it's much more personal. I think, there's so many questions. When you have the actual assassination and before we have sunset on that very day, how does the federal government have the gall to tell you that they're positive that it was only one shooter? They didn't even know what was going on. And then I had two of my staff members that were actually there present about 30 feet away from the stage. And they said that everyone knew those guys were on top of the roof, but yet they say there's nothing to see here. We had Director Wray in front of Judiciary, which I'm so honored to be part of. Chairman Jim Jordan, put me in that position, and I'm going to work my heart out for it. And when I had Director Wray of the FBI in front of me, and you question anything about the FBI, they were so defensive without any answers whatsoever, Chris.
Yeah, no, I concur, sir. And you know what? My only question for the Republican Party would be, I remember a day, when I was younger, that if a president was shot at, that we wouldn't be going on vacation, we wouldn't be going and doing other things, we would be actually there trying to get to the bottom of, in particular, the president from our own party way back in the day. I'm not sensing that same urgency. Meantime, Congressman, while Republicans have been on vacation, Democrats are still trying to put President Trump in jail. Inquisitor Jack Smith filing a new indictment yesterday. Most legal analysts agree it's not going to go anywhere, probably because the Inquisitor is making the case that Trump was a candidate and not president at the time, which is strange, and also to the fact that a federal judge determined Jack Smith's entire appointment was unconstitutional. Many have questioned Republicans' votes to fully fund these witch hunts, but now, after all of this, now that Jack Smith has been ruled to be unconstitutional, an unconstitutional appointment, can any Republican in good conscience vote to continue to fund this?
You have to hit him in the pocketbook. Absolutely. Jack Smith should resign today. He is irresponsible for even thinking that he has the right to hold this office with the persecution of President Trump. So I guess Jack Smith's opinion means more than the United States Supreme Court. Is that what this country has come to? That Jack Smith thinks that he is now the emperor of America? He is a derelict of duty and should resign today, my friend.
Well, he resembles a Sith Lord, if you must know, but for those sci-fi fans out there, but I don't think he's emperor yet anyway. Finally, Congressman, Kamala Harris has agreed to sit down to a fake interview at CNN. It's going to be taped, pre-taped ahead of time, a campaign video, and Kamala will show her strength as a leader by having to have her male vice president in tow. Should Americans be concerned about the country's safety and Kamala's competency if, God forbid, she is elected to the highest office in the land and then confronted by dictators like Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping?
I think there's a lot to be fearful for. I'm not sure if the Republic could stand a 4 years administration under Harris. And I think it's sad beyond belief. I don't think any of your viewers out there, there's two questions I want to ask. I want to ask, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? I'll go ahead and answer it. Of course you're not. Your standard of living is miserable, and it costs 3 times to live this miserable existence that Joe Biden provided you via courteous Harris. And not only that, when is it that you have an interview that you have to have a buddy next to you explaining what you mean? I think we have a golden opportunity to box these two, and they're bad players here. Let's just face it. Neither one of them should go anywhere near the White House. But I think we have a chance to box them in, because think about something, Chris. If they say they're for fracking, they're going to have the wackos that are up in Minneapolis to ban them even more by the grubs. They go against Israel. They go against America. They go against everything that we believe, and they hate fracking. I live in the land of fracking. I want to drill till we don't have a drill bit left.
Well, Congressman, I got to tell you that the worst housing market in American history, that's what analysts are saying, has been gifted to us by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And I doubt that question is going to be coming up in the CNN so-called interview. Congressman Rulli, thank you, sir. Appreciate the visit.